Hi everyone, I'm Caleb Wimble, and welcome to our first video episode of Your Mileage May Vary. Today I'm going to talk about Into the Breach, the new giant mecha and kaiju tactics game from the makers of FTL Faster Than Light. For those of you who haven't played FTL, stop watching and get to it. I'll wait. In all seriousness, FTL was a masterpiece of a game in which you took control of a small starship crew on the run from a hostile force across a procedurally generated galaxy. You gave orders to each crew member individually as they manned individual stations of the starship, much like a bridge commander on shows like Star Trek or Firefly. You never knew what was coming next, and the challenges each new game would throw at you would push you to understand and exploit every aspect of your starship, its systems like weapons and shields and life support, and your crew's unique talents. It was constantly fresh, frequently unfair, and always kept you on the edge of your seat, hoping to survive one more jump to light speed. Into the Breach does something a little different. It's still a game about systems. Like FTL at its core, it's about understanding what the people and machines at your disposal are capable of, and learning all the surprising ways those systems and your enemies can interact. But Into the Breach does away almost entirely with the uncertainty and chaos that filled any FTL run. Every game begins with the end of the world. Using their limited time travel capabilities, your squad of 3 giant robotic warriors and their pilots will jump back near the beginning of the invasion of giant bugs that has devastated a future Earth. You will fight swarms of these creatures across 4 megacorp-run islands, the last vestiges of human and AI civilization. Each battle takes place over 5 turns, during which your goals can vary, but which always include protecting civilian cities and their power grid. The grid supports both your mecha and humanity's survival. Sounds simple enough, and at a glance it is. You only control 3 mecha, after all, on tiny grid-line maps that fit entirely within your screen. 5 turns doesn't sound like a long time either, but as you struggle to protect your cities and blast the bugs to pieces, you quickly realize that brute force won't be remotely enough to stop the swarm. You find yourself quickly outnumbered and outgunned, and, if you're anything like me, you'll lose almost immediately as the power grid collapses, your pilots declare the timeline lost, and you select one surviving pilot to jump back in time again with her mech squad. Once a timeline is lost, it's lost. There's no saving and reloading, no way to undo mistakes once made other than a single turn reset that can be used once per mission and might occasionally save you from a single human error. These failures don't feel overwhelming, however, because in almost every case you will find yourself learning from that error. You see, every move the bugs make can be seen in advance. Into the Breach doesn't throw much against you at random, other than the occasional power-ups and the items you'll find in folding time pods. Instead, it gives you all the information you need to study, understand, and ultimately manipulate its battlefields. It doesn't take long before you realize that the key to victory is almost never found in blasting away. Every move you make in this game must be an act of careful triage. You know exactly what the bugs are going to do. You know which targets you have to protect above all else to succeed in your missions. Once you internalize those goals, you begin to look at the battlefield in a new way. You see ways you can carefully position your mechs to draw enemy fire away from civilians. You start to take advantage of the terrain, the forest that can be set on fire to burn bugs alive, the dams that can be broken to flood entire valleys, drowning the bugs incapable of flight, the old mines left in the ground from humanity's past wars, onto which the bugs can be lured, thrown, or pushed by your mech's attacks. You even start to realize how the bugs can be turned against each other, how you can use your ability to predict their attacks to knock them into each other's paths of fire. When all that clicks, Into the Breach becomes more than just a role-playing tactics game. It becomes a finely tuned piece of clockwork, and you realize that every movement of its cogs affects the others in cascading ways. Like Neo in The Matrix, you almost start to see the code behind each battle. You stop reacting to the bugs, to the mayhem of the battlefield, and you begin directing them. The game doesn't become easy in that moment. You won't stop making those critical errors that in a single turn shatter all your plans to pieces, but you'll understand the path to victory. And in doing so, you'll feel you've mastered a truly brilliant machine. That concludes this first video episode of Your Mileage May Vary. Thanks for watching, folks. Again, my name's Caleb. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, please like and subscribe, maybe even share the video with friends. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.